Priya, my favourite show on TV is Sesame Street. You know when the Cookie Monster comes out and he says, cookies, and he eats all the cookies and they crumple everywhere? I love that. Sitting with your kids on your knee watching that is probably the most enjoyable thing because we go to the pantry and grab some cookies and crumble them all over the place, make a mess, and then I get yelled at. I can't believe it.
I can't believe it either.
So I'm going to show you how to make some really nice cookies at home because I believe that anything made at home is always going to be more delicious.
Agree.
All right, so this is my chocolate chip cookies with cashew nuts in here and it's really, really easy to put together. So I'll put half a cup of butter in there. So what I want you to do is to cream that together with some brown sugar, wholemeal sugar, great for the kids, good for their teeth as well, and some caster sugar here. In that goes as well. You're going to mix that around and around till it comes together. Now, I'm going to put some nuts in here because we love putting nuts in biscuits. It gives them a bit of crunch and hopefully they'll give you some nutrition as well. See, I'm learning that word.
Well, there you go. And they're good for you, Richo, aren't they? A little bit of extra fibre, some good fats for the heart.
Exactly.
Yep.
Now, I'm using some cashew nuts, but you could use really any sort of nuts that you have in the pantry. So mixing that around and around.
Yes, is that good?
No, keep going, keep going.
It's not
Well,
so blunt.
The beauty of this dish is it helps to burn off all the energy you're going to accumulate by eating these nuts.
Okay.
Now, mixing that around, I'm going to end your pain and suffering right now, and I'll crack an egg into the middle of that, and you can mix that egg into it so it comes together beautifully. Now, that's beautiful, nice and creamy. At this stage here, if my kids were around, they would be sticking their fingers into that.
They having a taste.
Just testing it for Dad. Now, this is a little strainer or sifter, and what I do with this is I'm going to hold this over the top and add the flour, plain flour, leave the spoon in there.
Okay.
You haven't finished mixing
No,
yet.
I haven't. I thought my arm might get a break.
No, it won't get a break. I'll add a little bit of baking powder just to give it a little bit of a lift, and I just tap it with my hand here so it becomes nice and fine and light and fluffy. It's coming together beautifully, isn't it?
It is. So far, it's quite easy. There's a lot of sugar in here. I guess you could use substitutes if you wanted to, Richo.
Priya, it's a biscuit. It's supposed to be sweet. That's why we love them so much.
Right,
Have you ever heard of a biscuit that's not sweet? Well, maybe a savoury biscuit. Now, in goes some vanilla essence. And while you're mixing that around, I'll throw in the nuts, which is the cashew nuts. In they go. You're doing a great job here. And I'm really liking this. And now we need to get the chocolate out. And I'm using some really good Lindt chocolate. And I'll peel those off. This is what I hide from the kids.
I love that you're doing the very easy jobs today. Honestly, he's got me working very hard.
I have got you working really hard.
There's weaknesses at home, Richo.
I know, they're working you really hard. They're probably saying, she's learning how to make biscuits. So it's really important that you actually make it by hand. Now, I'm also using dark chocolate, which I know my kids don't like dark chocolate. So if you ever want to keep the chocolate to yourself, dark chocolate.
The dark kind.
In that goes as well. And we've got a couple of little pieces here.
Okay.
Now, while you're mixing that around, Priya, I'm just going to go over here and have a little taste of the chocolate because I love chocolate, one of my favourite things.
There's a really nequity here today, Richo.
Keep mixing.
Okay.
All right, that's coming together beautifully.
So I'm assuming this chocolate is going to melt through the cookie.
Yes, it's going to make it delicious. But because I'm putting big chunks of chocolate in here, as they cook, they'll hold together beautifully.
Yes.
I've got a big baking tray lined with Glad Bake, and what we do is we pull off the biscuit mixture, about maybe a golf ball in size, and we pop it on there. I just mix it around. Now, I know that these biscuits will spread a little bit, so I give them plenty of room, and I'll pop these on here, so I've got 6 of them. Now, this mixture here, you could actually ball up, pop in the fridge or the freezer, and when guests come over in the afternoon, you pop them into the oven, and there you go. You think...
Fresh, warm bickies with melted chocolate through it.
Exactly. You'll be like the Martha Stewart of Melbourne. Out come the biscuits and everyone will love them, and people think that you'll be slaving for days over this one. Now, this will go in the oven, 175 degrees Celsius, about 10 to 11 minutes to cook. That'll be great. Into the oven we go.
Wonderful.
Priya, what do you think?
Beautiful.
They're looking
Beautiful
great.
cookies.
Oh, I love them. You stack them all up like that.
They look lovely, Richo.
You can imagine the little tykes will be in front of the TV watching a cartoon, and you come along with a big plate of cookies and a milkshake each. You'd be the mum of the year, wouldn't you?
I reckon I already am, Richo. I believe in my unusual techniques.
Now look at that, nice and chewy. See, it's just sort of... Why waste these biscuits on the kids when you can eat them yourself? What do you think?
100% agree, Richo. We can snaffle these.
You can eat them all.